When I hear the word vote, the first thing that comes to mind is this idealized sort of scenario where everyone who wants his or her voice heard has that opportunity.
I think it's really important to be open to the discussion that modern day democracies are under attack and maybe have never truly been that democratic.
I mean, the first step that a lot of people find a little more challenging is like where you actually go for requesting an absentee ballot. So it started with a bit of online searching, and I won't say that it was that intuitive.
Requesting a ballot was extremely easy. It was so easy that I barely remember doing it. It took no time at all.
And then I had to select a reason for requesting an absentee ballot, which none of the 4 available reasons were applicable to me.
My town in Massachusetts has a polling place about a 5-minute drive from my house, so I can easily get to it. However, we don't have public transport in the suburban town, so if you don't have a car or a bike, or if it's out of walking distance, it could be difficult for those that don't have transportation to get to the polling.
To me, voter suppression looks like a series of very insidious steps that certain self-interested political figures might take in order to effectively disenfranchise any constituents who might make it harder for them to get reelected.
I think it's a pretty general fact, that women make up 50% of the population. So it's about half. When you look at maps of women in positions of power, women in legislature, women in Congress or Senate, that number is a lot less than 50. And to expect a man to be able to advocate for women's issues, it's just impossible.
My political beliefs are based off of my moral foundation. So I feel like if I were living in a spot where everyone else had a different moral philosophy than I do, I'd feel not really part of the community.
It makes me feel at least like it's an us versus them. And so living in a state that's majority them, I feel like I am not welcome.
I believe segregation does exist because they do not receive the same opportunities to rise up in society. Every person has the same dignity and right to respect, no matter where we come from.
It's extremely frustrating that I won't be able to vote in this upcoming election, even though I've spent the vast majority of my life living in this country.
Voter suppression runs rampant not only in America, but in countries all over the world, some of which claim to be democratic as we do in America.
Looking at the map of America's richest states, I grew up in Massachusetts and spent time all over New England, and then I went to university in Oregon and am now at college in Charleston. And spending time in different regions, you can see the different experiences based off of median household income, how it affects culture and politics and social interactions.
Just given, like I said, needing to print things out, needing to either drive to have it hand delivered or send it through the mail. It's a matter of having time. A lot of families right now are juggling so many different things. They're not in the position to be thinking ahead about this, and unfortunately we do need people to be thinking ahead about this.
Something that gives me hope for the future is my own generation. I'm seeing a lot of movements and activism created and passionately pursued by my generation, otherwise known as Generation Z. While it is a situation we could have avoided and definitely should have, I think the future is extremely hopeful based on the progress and work and anger and passion I've seen in my peers and this generation all over the world.